tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 840-0750. That's 840-0750.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
The most trusted name in news, Fox News, every half hour, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
WOCA.
All right, 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. Nice looking Thursday morning. There is rain in today's forecast. Right now it's 71 degrees here at the studios, broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall. The forecast says, and by the way, today, National Meteorology Day, 92 degrees, the expected high with some rain. I guess afternoon rain is what they're saying. Lows tonight around 70. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, highs in the mid-90s. Saturday, highs in the low 90s. And then Sunday, the next mention of rain with highs around 90. So rain today, it'll be every day.
Yeah.
It's not much to tell you about when this time of year. Not usually, anyway. All right, so let's see. Before we get into the thing with Rand Paul filibustering, I want to do that. Okay, so before we took the break, we were leaving you confused about the price changes at SeaWorld, and this is also Busch Gardens, by the way. So here it is. We figured it out. The weekday passes. Now, does this mean weekend have a different price?
I don't know.
Okay. Weekday passes to the Orlando Park will see a price cut of $5, going from $75 to $70 if the tickets are bought in advance.
Okay.
That's in advance.
Yeah.
General ticket prices will be going up by $2. The general ticket price will go from $95 to $97, which is obviously a $2 increase. Officials said one park annual passes would stay the same price. So the annual passes are the same. The changes impact both SeaWorld and Busch Gardens.
Okay.
There you go. Now we're not confused anymore.
Yeah,
I actually still am confused because it's saying when they use the word weekday, it sounds like there's a different price for the weekend.
Yeah,
doesn't
Monday through Friday.
There was a story on CNN about a dentist up in Jacksonville that was getting a lot of complaints from parents, moms mostly, because moms are usually the ones who take the kids to the dentist. It's for a pediatric dentistry. And before I realized it was Jacksonville, I thought it was here in Ocala because it said Florida.
Right.
Florida dentist. And so they were showing the mother, I guess, was videotaping the child just screaming in the dentist's chair. And then it showed the dentist himself outside. He was being attacked, and women were wanting to get a piece of him.
Well, that's good.
He looked scared. Yeah,
I would have jumped on him.
But anyway, so when I saw that, I know we've had our own share of that. And
here in Ocala.
I don't want to name names or dentist practices, but we've had our share.
Yeah.
And so when I saw that story, I thought it was an Ocala story, and it's a Jacksonville story, and it just makes you wonder how many of these stories are out there for pediatric dentistry. What's going on with that whole field?
Exactly.
Or am I exaggerating? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. And where was the assistant? And from now on, I guess if my children were still small, I would insist to go in with them while they're in the dental chair. And if the dentist says no, that means he has something shady's going on. So I'd find a different dentist.
Good point. You know, when my son was little, we had the greatest dentist, and the dental assistant was such a wonderful lady. And
oh yeah, you did.
And I was so comfortable and confident in him. This guy we had around here, I can say his name. Dr. Pierce was his name.
Right.
And his assistant's name was Eileen.
Eileen.
I
yes.
think so. Okay, Eileen. So, Dr. Pierce, we thank you.
Yeah.
For those years when you were Alex's dentist. And Eileen, if you happen to be out there, we miss you and hope you're doing well. All right, let's see. David Letterman's last show was last night. We watched. I didn't see it as it happened, of course, but I saw the clips this morning on YouTube. And unlike Carson's last show, unlike Leno's last show, there was no bitterness. Well, there was no bitterness on Carson and Leno. There was bitterness on Conan when he did his last, but of course he's not really done. But anyway, but there was no crying either. There was no crying. It was crying on Carson's last show. There was definitely crying on Leno's last show. But I mean by the host, by Leno and Carson. David Letterman was holding it up. His son and his wife were in the audience, as well as the son's friend, which was kind of fun to see. Got a pretty lady for a wife.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Which is really a superficial thing to say, but it's just my thoughts. So some comments this morning from people regarding last night's show. They were tweeting. I don't know if I know these names. One of the people that was on, they did a top 10, the last top 10 list, each one thing per celebrity. Alec Baldwin was one of them. Jerry Seinfeld was one of them. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was one of them. Jim Carrey was one of the list givers. Yeah. Who am I leaving out?
Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters was one of them.
Tina Fey.
Thank you, Tina Fey.
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning was there.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray was the number. Yeah, he was the last one. So technically,
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin was there. Thank you.
Yeah. I think they were all.
I think we got them all.
Jerry Seinfeld. I think you said him. Yeah.
And so officially, that would make Bill Murray the last guest, and Bill Murray was the very first guest of David Letterman way back 30-something years ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, Elizabeth Banks tweeted, "He hasn't said a word, and I'm crying." Esther Aaron Smith, a fan of the show, said, "Biggest lump in my throat." She went on to, I guess those are all hashtags. Let's see. DJ Hunter said, "Most of my 28 years of life, I've watched David Letterman. Feels weird to see it end. Thanks for the entertainment."
Nice quote.
Everything that's already been said, yes, said Sandy Robb. We're also losing the most Natalie-dressed gentleman on late night. That was from Sandy Robb.
Natalie.
Natalie. Conan O'Brien tweeted, "It's absolutely absurd to thank David Letterman for all he's done in a tweet, but that's the world we live in now. Thanks, Dave."
That says it all.
Major League Baseball paid a tribute to David Letterman. They simply, on their Twitter site, they put hashtag thanks, Dave. Betty White tweeted, "Tonight is David Letterman's final late show. We love each other so much. I will miss him so, but look out, I'll find him." And then hashtag thanks, Dave. That was Betty White. Jason Alexander from the Seinfeld show tweeted, "David Letterman, thank you for the laughs, both live and on air. May your family bring you joy and inspiration, and may you laugh for all your days." And then Letterman at Letterman, I don't know that's David's or probably his staff, they tweeted, "Tonight Dave takes the stage of the Ed Sullivan Theater for the last time." And by the way, he was talking about when they decided to move to the Ed Sullivan Theater, how it was really in disrepair and needed to be fixed up. So he was thanking the architects and the designers who built the old Ed Sullivan Theater into the theater that it is today.
Wow.
Which is kind of cool. If I ever get to New York, I've never been in there. Well, I take that back. I have been in the building, but not in the theater. Millennium Records used to be upstairs. It might still be there, for all I know. Millennium Records was a record company that I was working with, sort of, kind of, years and years ago.
Yeah.
And we went up through, I don't know how we got upstairs. I know how we got downstairs. We went downstairs on the side, and this was before Letterman was occupying the building. So Letterman's statement that the place was in disrepair, I can kind of tell you something about this, because we went up, like I said, I don't remember how we got upstairs to the Millennium Records office, but we went down in the staircase, and the handrail fell off.
Oh, gosh.
It was a big metal handrail. And it just fell off and clankety down the stairs.
Wow.
And we were like, holy mackerel, the thing fell off. So that was before David Letterman moved there, which was some 20-something years ago. Right?
Yeah, well, thank you.
So I didn't realize that my little story would have a connection to David Letterman's recollections last night of how the studio was in disrepair when they first discovered it. P.S. This studio was in way disrepair when Dan and Joe found it.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere there's some video and some pictures of us tearing these walls down.
Yep.
I don't think I really want to see those pictures.
No, but I think Action Jackson took it. And
Yeah. So anyway, it was. I think I will be one of those who misses seeing David Letterman for sure. You know what? I wanted to talk about Rand Paul going on the Senate floor to protest the continuation of the Patriot Act. So I will do that when we come back. I just got kind of caught up in the whole thing right there.
yeah.
Between the dentist and the David Letterman piece. All right, so we'll take a little break and be right back, and we'll dedicate the final 12 minutes of this half hour to Rand Paul, to our thoughts on the Patriot Act, and we'll do that when we come back. This is WOCA Ocala.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. A mix of sun and clouds today, a thunderstorm in the area this afternoon.